Mm.
Hello to everybody.
Good evening and welcome back, or good morning, wherever you are.
We are super happy to welcome everybody to our live video, our Sunday live. It's very nice that a lot of guys are asking, like, are you going to do this Sunday, like the video? It's so nice when I got emails like that. It's always
it's kind of cool. It's quite funny, really. When we first did it, like, I was quite nervous, and I know Luga was as well. When it was like, what do we do? Are people really going to like sit there and listen to us? But I don't know. Turns out quite well, I suppose. People seem to get some value from it, which is good. And as long as people still enjoy it, we will still do them. So, okay, terrible cue.
I was like thinking that it is a bad comment. Like terrible?
Ivan, GBF, Tom, Kyle, Ian.
I think it's Ivan.
Welcome to. No, it's Ivan. It's Ivan in other parts of the world.
No, it's not.
It's Ivan in the West. Ivan in the West, but in Ukraine it's like Ivan, right?
Yes. Hello, guys.
Oh, well, maybe we do an update of what's going on. Do we have an update? I don't even know. I haven't even looked at the news.
I don't know. Yeah,
I've given up on it.
I have a mask somewhere, and I came to the shop today, and it was like a little shop in an not like an open air market where like nobody wearing the mask. And when I went to the shop, because I was wearing a little bit like office worker, and she thought that I'm some kind of a tax police, and she's like, "Where's your mask? Put your mask on?" And I'm like, huh? Like mask, and like honestly, people here, I would say this way: half of the people wearing masks is the people who are really cautious, like they want to wear them, and other kind of people they don't, they just. I don't know if it is a good thing or bad. Like I honestly don't want to discuss that. I have a mask somewhere always, and if I feel that I go in a very crowded place, I do wear it. But everything is pretty chilled. Like everything is fine. Definitely, like they were saying that they will check the beach, and people have to wear masks. Nobody I ever seen one person in the beach, wearing a mask. But my friend from Kyiv came, and she said that in Kyiv it's much more restricted. I see that Milan here. Confirm, please. Is it like that? She said that like they check and like really like they more telling in the shops to wear a mask. It's not like in Odessa.
Yeah, if you go to the supermarket here, I actually forgot the other day, and they won't serve you when you go through the checkout. They just kind of like tell you to wear one, and then they'll just sit there while you buy one off them and put it on and open it and put it on. So it must be like a policy, I suppose, something like that. But you have to wear one in the supermarkets.
Yeah, they sell it near the cashier, and so you can go inside the shop without mask. You can shop without the mask, but by the law, you can't buy without the mask. So in my shop where I live, like you should, like they sell it near the cashier, and so you can buy it over there when you get to that point. But it's completely up to you. So one of our clients just left a couple of days ago, and when he was at the airport, he came before the lockdown, and I asked him to go to the So I asked him to go to the border controller and just ask, like, what about the restrictions? Are people allowed to travel or no? The guards say that, nobody allowed to travel, whatever. Like, we know a little bit different statistics, but okay. Officially, it's closed till 28, 29. And then he say, are you sure that, they're going to open the borders? And both of them at the same time, both guards say, yes. Like everybody is waiting for that opening up, and also he said that even the coronavirus test station was empty, so it means that not many people was really entering.
The thing is, and this is what I've kind of come to realize, is that it doesn't matter what you read, it doesn't matter what people tell you. You really have no idea what's going to go on. Like I was just talking to Luba before, and someone actually mentioned this to me yesterday, I think, that they're going to lock down all the shops again in like 2 weeks. And it's like, well, they're opening the airports in 2 weeks, but they're locking down the shops. None of it makes any sense whatsoever. So to even sort of like for us to even give you the information that we've been told really doesn't even have any value, because it's almost like we might as well just tell you anything that we want. So it's just all over the place, So that's kind of really what it is. Is Ukraine closed? Need to meet my wife somewhere. Yeah, the airports are closed till the 28th. I still believe 100%. You can't change my mind that it's because of this Jewish holiday that they have like today. Is it? No, 2 days ago. Yeah, nobody can ever change my mind on that's the reason for it. So hopefully it should open up by the 28th. I don't know if things are closing down in the next 2 weeks. I just can't see why. Every day, like when you follow the news, it has like record number of cases confirmed or something like this. Every day it's the same thing, but I mean, it doesn't really seem to be affecting anyone. And I don't know, maybe there's a little bit more to this coronavirus that we don't know about. But it's a video for some other channel.
Yeah, but people are traveling to Turkey, so the borders like open up for they open for the Ukrainians to go. And like my friend, our friend with Striker is like working in travel agency, and she say that everybody's booking Egypt, everybody booking Turkey. So people wants to travel, they wants to go for a vacation. And I know that a lot of guys, they just like meeting ladies in Istanbul, so they can fly to Istanbul and the ladies coming. But of course, it's only happening if you already met or you've been communicate. And so.
Yeah, here Mark's saying that he just got back from a 4-week trip to Ukraine with no. There are people here, there are foreigners here, there are Westerners here. We've had clients over here. Nobody has, like, it's not like there's nothing that's different. It's only different when you're looking from the outside looking in. You would have heard me say a million times, like, it's like I go to the beach on, like, most weeks I'll try and spend a day sort of somewhere near the beach, like reading a book or chilling out or doing some work. And it's just normal, So I'm not saying that because I've got any ulterior motives. It's just that that's how it is. And when I hear these other stories, when I talk to my friends back home in New Zealand, and everyone's freaking out because they found 4 new cases and they're going to shut down the country, and and it's the end of the world. And I'm just going, it's a whole other world over here. Like, I'm not saying that one's better, worse than the other. I'm just telling you pretty much that's how it is. It's pretty good, to be honest, like considering the craziness that's going on around the rest of the world. Anyway, video is today about Luba?
It's about us. It's the video is about Heart Rocket and our new service that called Rocket Match. So during the quarantine, during the lockdown, we kind of like thought how to support our guys. And
well, hang on, I'll just say one thing here. It's not about that. We're just going to tell you about that, but it's about how to do the video date.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So, I mean, a little introduction for the guys who just joined about the Rocket Match. So, like how we come to this idea, what it is. And like, basically, we want this video to be useful for the guys who are with Heart Rocket and who are not. So we really want to, people to get educated, like no matter which reason you're going to use it. Like, will you use it, our hints for the Rocket Match, or you will just have a video date with your ladies. So I think that we're going to teach you some useful hints that we think are very important when you are preparing for your online date. So why are you laughing?
I'm allowed to have positive emotions.
Oh, of course.
Whenever I want. You can't control my emotions. Now you're just going too far.
Oh, easy.
But basically, like we come up with this list, right? So we've done a lot, and like up until I started sort of, I guess, doing working with Luba, or maybe a little bit before, I did like calls on Skype. Up until that point, very rarely did I ever do it, and now we do a lot every week. And
we do.
What's that?
We do what?
Like calls on, like video calls.
Mm-hmm.
So and so we get sort of a pretty good impression about what's good and what's bad, and some things make us feel one way and another way. And even though it's like just us, we can sort of tell you sort of a little bit about some of those things, and you can follow them on through if you do decide to do your first date as a video date. And we did a video, I think last week, was it? The week before, of like why it's not such a good idea, and then we're trying to fix those reasons why it's not such a good idea to make it into sort of a better idea, basically. So where do we start, Luba?
We want to keep it very we want to keep it very simple. So basically, let me like quickly say about the Rocket Match for the guys who doesn't know.
Yes,
so first of all, like we are Heart Rocket, so our project called Heart Rocket, and it's a practical approach to dating in Ukraine. It's a dating course that we created that we put everything together for the guys who are planning to travel to Ukraine, who wants to find a wife, who wants to find a partner, and it's experience that I've been working in this industry for 11 years, all strikers experience, and it's all in one course. So it's about 50 videos. It's 12 hours of our speech. So the videos are different from the channel, and for the guys who already done the course, they will confirm that. So there's information that we can't share at the channel, but we definitely want to share with the guys who are with us. Then you got contacts of legit agencies, and then we support you. So we call ourselves like ERS. It's education, resources, and support. So while the lockdown, we just realized that, we need to support our guys. I basically created a little Russian course for the guys to just, interact a little bit and just learn something before they can travel to Ukraine. Thanks for all the guys who got it, who learned it. And, it was very nice to hear like your Russian speeches. After that, like we was thinking how to support the guys, and as Striker mentioned, we said that dating online chats like on some websites, it's not so efficient, but we came to understanding that guys still want to talk to a lady before they arrive to Ukraine. They want to know the person who they're gonna meet. And of course, for example, you can meet like 10 ladies when you come to Ukraine, but at least like 2 or 3 you want to talk before. And we realized how important it is for the guys. So of course, we wanted to do something different from everybody else, because that we're watching out for you. We want you to really be sure that you're talking to this person. I mean, that she's legit, that she's really have intentions to meet you. So we created, Striker actually created the part of our website that called Rocket Match, and at the moment it consists 403 English speaking lady from all over Ukraine and Belarus. So, and this number grow because our agency is editing these ladies. It is only ladies who speaks English, and by booking the call with this lady, you may be sure that she will not come with interpreter, and you will not have to pay anything extra. You will just be able to speak directly with the lady who speaks English. Striker, do you have anything to add?
No, that's basically it. Is that echoing?
No.
I can hear myself really loud. Okay. I've got like a 1 second delay. Hang on, I'm just going to take this out in a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. But now it's echoing. Do something with that.
I don't know what to do. I always have problems like that thing. I'm gonna. Can you hear me now? It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Touch anything. Yeah, well, that's basically it. Really, one of the problems that we sort of saw was just the translators and just all that stuff, and we were just like, well, let's just have ladies that speak English, and then we can just forget about that problem. So that's kind of where that came from, I suppose. So anyway, so that sort of hopefully gives you guys a quick idea. We've got other videos on our channel. If you're new to it, you can go check it out. So let's pretend that there's a date set up. And Luba's done a bunch this week with guys. And strangely enough, some of the guys that have done the calls are guys that I would have thought there's no way. They're very introverted. They were not, didn't come across as the most, confident people. And they're doing it. So I was very surprised with that. It's all sort of learning for us to see sort of who's going to go and do this. But so the way that it works is Luba sort of sets up the call over Zoom, and then Luba takes off, and then these 2 people can get to know each other. Some of the calls go for an hour and a half. Some of them go for half an hour or an hour, whatever it is. There is no time limit. You just do your thing. You're 2 adults that can decide when the call should end. We leave it pretty sort of chill. Okay, so let's start off from the start. The number one thing that I believe that is the most important thing if you're going to do this, right? If you're going to decide to go and have a one-on-one Skype call with a lady, the number one thing that you've got to think about is the, I call it the mood. I've written it down as the mood. But basically, the best way to explain this, right? And believe me when I tell you that we've spoken to a lot of guys, and we understand the mood, right? Some people, when they flick on the camera, they're sitting like in a light room and they're cheerful, and just straight away it just feels you feel comfortable talking to this person. Other times it's the room is very dark. You know, there's like a little tiny light over here, or just the light from the screen, right? And so the mood is set by how the other person feels. So think about like a movie. You know, like whenever you watch like a thriller, say a horror movie, it's always really dark. It's got a greenish tinge to it, and it's made that way on purpose so that you feel uneasy and slightly scared, and like, you know, you're not too sure what's going to happen next. And like, it's made that way on purpose. It's to play with your emotions on that movie to make you feel a certain way. But then if you think of another movie, like say, I don't know, a romantic comedy or something like that, or some happy sitcom, it's always bright and it's lively. Take this with you when you decide to do your first call, okay? How she sees you that split second, just like when we see someone for the first split second, we instantly get a feel for who this person is. And it may not always be correct, but we can't help it because it's just the way that our brains think. If the guy's sitting in a dark room and you can barely see him, we automatically feel a little bit uneasy, you know? Not saying that the person is bad or anything like that. It's just the lighting that's in the room. So that's the thing that I am going to stress. Number one is make sure your room is well lit. Even before this, we were like, let's make sure that we look how we would be on a date. And Luba made me turn the lights on up here because I like that sort of spaced out sort of look, but maybe it's not right for the first date. But just so it's well lit like this. And I'll give you guys a tip, right? If you don't know if it looks good or not, right, because it's hard to sort of see yourself from this point of view, is you should get, I won't do it because my phone's using the Wi-Fi, but just open up your phone and just hold it in front of you and sit around. Just find a place in your house that is well lit, you know, and it has, like, you don't want harsh lightings. Like, you don't want a harsh light on this side of your face and this side of the face is dark, because again, she's going to get another sort of a uneasy feeling. You don't want to be sitting in front of a mirror that's like, a window that's like blown out your face and you can't see you properly. You want to just have it so that you can see yourself and the background really, I guess, well, I suppose. Everything is well lit. This is not the most important part, but this is the first impression of you. If you do it in real life, it's different, right? Because you go and meet in a nice cafe, there's some flour on the table that they put there, there's some nice music playing. That's already done for you. You're the one that's to set up this date here. So you are the one that has to make her feel comfortable, right? So you have to think about these things beforehand. It's all about when she first sees you, what's the emotion that she's going to feel, and she's going to associate that with every time she thinks about you in the future. She's going to think about, oh, that guy that was sitting in that dark room, or that guy that had a messy room, or that guy that had a stain on his shirt. Just think about those things before you do the before you click that button that starts the video.
Striker. Michael just said use Zoom and apply. And apply the background to hide your message.
Okay, hang on.
Let's jump out of everything else and let me say about that. So let's try.
I'm gonna. Okay, so I will apply. How's that?
So guys, please don't do it ever. No matter, like, you better like clean up your room, or like, you know, maybe like the mess is better, but when you do this blur background, look at Striker, like it looks so bad. You can't even imagine. Like, I do so many calls and so many guys, they usually like to do it, and like, but you can't see, you see, like, it's how I see, it's like, it's how you see, like a lady will see you. And sometimes maybe it's a little bit better, but you know, if you turn a little bit, like, she can't see your ear, or you know, like if you like lift your hands up and then your hand disappear, and like it is so bad. Like this was in our list of what to do and what not to do on the video call, but this one, never use it. And also there's another thing, it's blurring your background. So either like putting the background like a coffee or picture, or blurring that. It looks awful, trust me, and it looks so uncomfortable, because like some ladies may not understand what's happening, but it's like, actually, you trust me, like you will move a little bit further and then like your head will be over or your hand will be over, and it's not good. Never blur your background, and never
and also too, if you hide your background, you're not showing her like who you are. You know, like the background should be kind of nice, because if she's going to come and live in that house, she assumes that you have a nice house. You know, she can't come into a house and and you just have virtual walls the whole time. It has to be what
And
is
also,
actually really there.
I don't recommend to walk around on your first date, because a lot of guys like to show, if you talk in conversation, and in conversation you want to show that, the weather or something like that, but try to not walk around, because it will change the light, it will change everything. And like when you're walking, like, it's good for the second call. It's good for the second and third one, because you can show her around, you can show her your living room or where you sleep, and you can be more prepared for that. But try to sit solid. Don't try to be like nervous. Don't try to have everything like anything in your hands, and just try to be calm. And please, I will repeat it again, never blur or add your background. It just doesn't sound cool.
Sometimes me and Lou would do it. We did it actually just before, but we do it as a joke to make each other laugh. So in that case, if you somehow believe later on the third date, you can make her laugh by changing the background to make it look like you're flying through space, then you can do that. But it's distracting and it just looks tacky as shit. So anyway, so that's that. So,
we're talking about our new service, Rocket Match. Ernie, page 2. Is it my Ernie? Is it my friend Ernie? Confirm if it is you. Is it a Disney guy? I just don't know. Okay. So keep going. We're talking, guys, about what to do and what not to do when you have a video call with a lady.
What we'll do is we'll quickly go through these. We always try and do things fast, and then we'll answer the questions. So we'll do that, and then we'll do the questions. Probably the best way, I think.
Yeah, and also we will discuss them, but then at the end we will quickly repeat all of them.
Yeah. Okay. So the other one is obviously your dress, right? And now I've said this before in a couple of other videos. Is a lot of time the guy just wants to see. He just wants to see if she's real, if he's attracted to her. You're missing a point here, right? So if she doesn't agree to give you her contact phone number, then it goes no further. So what she's looking for, right? She wants a man that's going to be well kept. There is no two ways about it. No woman wants a messy, scruffy man who can't shave when he's supposed to and get a haircut when he needs it. Right? And that goes for his clothes as well. So make sure that the clothes are not dirty. Make sure that they're, dressed like you would go to dress to have your first coffee date, right? Even though it might be 7 o'clock in the morning and, it seems weird to dress at that time. But that's the time when she can do the date. Just do it anyway, right? She'll appreciate it the same way that we appreciate when a woman gets dressed up as well. Okay, so we don't spend too much time on that. We all sort of get that. First time she's going to see you, is she going to see? Think of that guy again. What's the emotion she's going to put towards you? Or it's that guy that was unshaven, or that guy that had that shirt with that stain on it. Just don't be that guy. Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Luba?
Dressing, so you should not overdress, because I know that some guys, they prepare shirt and the striker, don't leave, and the tie. And tie is not the right thing for the first meeting. And I think it should be the way striker dress right now when he has this colored shirt is the most that the girls like, to be honest, because when you're just wearing the t-shirt, then you may be a little bit it bring you a little bit more weight or volume. You look a little bit bigger, and also it's not always look sharp, I would say. But when you put the nice shirt on, it always seems that you prepare for this call, that you are changing. And I know that one of the guys, he was talking to the lady, and she was just at the cafe. I think actually two of them, 2 calls, the lady was at the cafe. So don't judge, don't think about how about her right now. Yes, think how you want to represent yourself. This is important, because one guy just quickly, I lost it, but he said something about the videos, and he said that the ladies. So on our Rocket Match, I asked the agencies. I asked the agencies to put real pictures, real pictures of the girls, and so they do have them. We understand that Photoshop bullshit. We do understand it, and we want to minimize it as much as we can. So at the places that we can stop it, and Striker already say that before, that one of our agents, they have a lot of Photoshop pictures, but I actually asked to put not Photoshop pictures. So we are completely supporting that, and you know, so yes, we understand that, and we try to make it as honest as possible, like for the way that girls are looking. The next thing that we want to say is that settings, right? Settings and settings.
Settings. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
One thing.
One thing.
Oh, my phone. Can you
What?
hear that? My like echoing. I need to turn this down. Yeah. Okay. So one thing I'm just going to say here, I just thought about it afterwards, was that what you should actually say to her at the start, because even though they all speak English, you can't assume that their English is as good as Luba's, or that it's that the vocabulary is large enough for you to discuss your hopes and dreams and your hobbies and what you do for work and all that sort of stuff. So you should actually just say to her at the start that if you say anything and she doesn't understand, say, hey, that's fine. Just let me know if you don't understand anything. Just ask me, I can explain it in a more simpler term, or I can slow down my speech. I have very fast speech, and whenever I'm talking with Ukrainian people, I have to talk a lot slower. And that's just the way that it is. If she's not used to your accent, perhaps, maybe you're from UK or the Midwest or somewhere where it's maybe a different accent, she may not be able to understand it. So just let her know that it's okay. Otherwise, she may feel uncomfortable to say anything, and she's going to sit there and she's going to like nod. Oh, my voice is not working, is it? Are you guys having? Have I got? Ah, there's an echo. I've got an echo.
Yeah, I don't hear anything from you. But...
have
okay,
I got an echo now? I think the comments are like 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, you have. Mine video is frozen as well, or only strikers?
Your one looks fine. I can't see anything. We'll just keep going. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, also what is important is that, I don't know if you said, like, we when you having a call, I understand that sometimes because of the big time difference. Now you froze. So you have to like, it's difficult to, like, when you plan a call, usually it's gonna be early morning for you, or maybe afternoon, maybe your lunch break, but try to not have a date while you in a car, or you're driving, or sitting outside. These are three options that you need to avoid, because when you are outside, like we have a call one time with a guy, and he was sitting on his patio, but he was living on some highway, and there was trucks like just passing like all the time. This was so difficult. Like, first of all, like, I really have a headache because I was trying to hear what he say, but for him it was like he was just like, maybe because he was there, he can't hear the way I hear that. And the second is that it's like it's distracting, and the lady, they speak English, but it's not their native language, and so for them it can be tough, you know, to understand. So that's why you need to make sure that you sit in a quiet place. Also, why I not recommend to talk from the car is because when you talk from the car, it's really you know, really difficult to you know, to put your camera right. And usually the guy's talking and the camera is like down, and so they look like they're like above the girl. So this is not very nice. When you talk, like, you want to feel more at the same level. Like, you should put your camera and make sure that you're not above, you're not from the bottom, but you're just like, you're sitting on the same level. This is very important. So don't do the videos from the car, don't do videos from outside. Just try to do videos from the place that has a good lighting, where you can set up your camera. Before you do the call, please make sure that you check your microphone and your headphones. And the thing here that I want to say is that please do not wear huge, giant headphones with a big microphone that cover half of your face. This is extremely important. Some guys, they do have it, and they look like, it really looks bad, because first of all, this microphone, usually the wire can be a little bit broken, and it sounds like you know, make all the sounds, and like it's very uncomfortable to hear that. Better to use like small headphones with a little microphone, or maybe you have a wireless headphones. This is also important. So write it down if you're writing it down. So write it down.
Yeah. I'm just checking I don't have an echo. Yeah, the big headphones look terrible. Like they look like you're trying to fly a helicopter or something. So, okay. The other one is, one I'll say here is like internet, just the fact that our one is like coming out. Sometimes that can happen, right? You know, things can sort of cut in and out. You know, so if you can, like someone just mentioned here, if you can hardwire it into the router, it's always going to be better. I don't have the cable for it. I just tried to have a look. But if you can, it is always going to be better. But obviously, everyone's internet's different. But not just your internet, her internet as well. And trust me, it's the most frustrating thing. But it's one of those things. But just try and minimize it where you can. The other one is, okay, so distractions, right? So distractions. You need to go somewhere that's really quiet. There's nothing worse, even when we're having chats with our guys as well, and something is distracting, right? The dog starts barking, someone turns up at the door, the phone is ringing, there's all these things going on, and the person has to leave and come back. It really breaks that vibe. Like if we might be deep in a conversation and then someone's arrived or his friend has turned up to pick something up, he's got to give him the keys to his car, he's got to do whatever. Like it really breaks any sort of momentum that you've got going. So try and eliminate all that stuff. Turn everything onto silent. Make sure no one's coming around. If you've got kids, make sure they're not going to be like running around or that they've got stuff to do. Make sure your dog's not going to bark and go crazy. So you can get that flow going on. Think about it in real life. Like if you had a good interaction going on in real life and then someone come running past and said something, or they evacuated the building, or there was something that was going on, it would completely ruin any sort of vibe that you got going. And to try and build that momentum up again, it's going to be very difficult. It's exactly the same when you're on the video as well. So,
and we come to the point of animals. Animals. So a lot of people have animals. Did you know that? So important thing that a lot of our guys, they do have animals, dogs and cats and like parrots. One guy had a parrot, you know, it's incredible. Like I love animals very much, and I think it's awesome. But sometimes you allow this animal because it becomes like your kid, and you allow this animal too much. So the animal can distract your call, can jump on the table, can, you know, like face in a camera. And when you know the person, when you talk to somebody, you know, I think it's fun. I think it's cute, and you know, it's your animal, it's your favorite pet. But when you talk for the first time, it's very important to find out if actually like lady likes animals. Like you should somehow in conversation ask that. And for the first call, I would highly recommend to close your animal somewhere, like maybe like leave it behind the, you know, your living room or bedroom where you're doing the call. Why it is important? Because first of all, you want to find out if the lady gonna, you know, if she likes animals. If she does like, you should ask like that she has an animal. And if both of you, for example, have cats, I think, of course, it's fun to show like, oh, this is my cat, so let them become friends. And, you know, the people who has pets and they're at the same page, I think it's a lot of fun. You know, it's a lot of, you know, they can say, oh, now, like, they will ask, like, from pet to pet, like, how are they doing? And it can bring this closeness. It's what we're trying to build. It's what we're trying to do while you cannot meet in person. You can't do activities together. But sometimes, like, the lady may not like the animal, and, you know, of course, like, I think it's not a very smart question to ask on a profile. But anyway, I think it's better to ask because it can cause a little bit of a problem. So I don't want. I was thinking, is it you or no, Mark? I love your parrot, especially when you take a gun to try to shut it. So yeah, like just you know, just be understand that this is not a job interview. You know, it's not like super important, but it would be much more nicer if for the first time you will be focused just on each other. It's just me and it's just her or you or whatever. So this is important. Please note it. One more thing that just before Striker continue. So when you do Zoom, it is very important. You have to, there's like two options on how you can see the person, like, and the guys even who talk to us, as I understand now, they didn't know that, and they may not always see me and Striker and the guy at the same moment. So when you do a Zoom call on your computer, and it is what I highly recommend, to use your computer or laptop, and like before I say about the Zoom, I want to say, please make sure that it's plugged in and the battery is not gonna die, and you're not gonna run around trying to look for your charger. So make sure that it works. So when you do a Zoom, on the right top corner, there is a selection how you can actually view the speaker. It can be set on a speaker's view, so you will only see the person who speak at this particular moment, or it can be gallery view, when you see everybody who are joining the call at the same time. So please notice that when you use Zoom, the best way to talk and to see, and like to see the reaction of the girl when you talk, when she talk, how she expressed herself, is to choose on the top right corner, gallery view.
Okay. I was just going to say, that one reminded me, it was like, it's not a job interview. So I think you need to just bear that in mind and not like smash her with a bunch of like questions that are going to make her feel kind of uncomfortable. You know, I don't think I need to talk too much about that, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to say, when, you know, would you move to America? Like, you know, basically you're trying to figure out if she's serious or not. So you'd ask these questions that are highly uncomfortable. Believe me, if she sees enough value and she likes you, she'll do the answer yes to most of those questions in the future. One thing is to just bear in mind, right? So now, I always like to think that we're the most important things in the equation here, the men. But just remember, like, she has agreed to spend some time. She's got to get ready. She's got to sort out whatever other things she's got going on, and she's got to be prepared and be on camera to speak to you and present herself in the best possible light. So just bear in mind that she might have some other shit that's going on at the moment. So she may, I don't know, I joked with Luba about it before. I said she might have a sick grandmother, but she might really have a sick grandmother, or she might have kids that are sick. She might be worried about something over here and those sorts of things. This is actually the one reason why I think that doing video calls may not work, and it's because you don't know what's going on with the other person. So if she might come across as a bit like, you know, not as interested and as enthusiastic as you are because you're the man and you've paid for this and you've looked forward to this, and she doesn't seem as enthusiastic about it for some reason, just bear in mind there could be something else in the background as well that she's dealing with and that you'll never know about. So you have to take these conversations with a grain of salt, you know, like, unless it's really, really bad, which if it was going to be really bad, I don't think she would want to talk to you anyway, but it's either going to be really good or it's going to be like, I don't really know. But you're never really going to know the answer to the, I don't really know, until you actually meet her in person anyway. So just bear that in mind. She's probably got other stuff going on, you know.
And both of you have, and of course, like when you have a real date, then you can be focused like 19%, I would say, because your thought can be somewhere away. But when you do this video call, I still, like, from what I see for the week that we are doing that, like, I'm actually surprised how many guys are doing that. So from this perspective, I understand that it works and people really want it. And I see that both, like, ladies and the guys, they try to make the most convenient time. It's not when she's like running to her work. No, it's actually either like it's usually evening for the lady, and like if the guy lives somewhere on the west, and so it's late evening for the lady, and like, right, it's like, and more like afternoon for the guys, or it's early morning for the guy, and it's like daytime for the woman. So we try to make it work when both of you have convenient time, like it's good. What I wanted to say is that one guy was asking, like, is it available just for the subscribers of Hard Rocket? Yes, this service was and will be available only for Hard Rocket subscribers, and there's a reason for that, because we really want you guys to know, like, we want you to get our course, because we want you to get educated, we want you to get to know what is going on, we want you to be aware of everything, and then we want to give you legitimate contacts of the good agencies, and we have, I believe, 16 now in Ukraine and 2 in Belarus. So we we have some more agencies now, and the way how we come to them, it's like one of the agencies that we work for years, they recommend me to like one agency, and another was highly recommended by our client who actually like he was like, we did a call, and so basically no matter, like it's recommended by the client, and one of our agencies also been working with them. So I do not put just random agencies, that the agency that I don't know. We got like maybe 5 different offers within like last 2 months from different agencies, and after we do the interview with them, we just say no, because it's not what our guys needs, it's not what we want our guys to go through. So
yeah, so we've had a few calls like this week, or since this week, I guess, where people have said, where the guys have said, you know, can I have a look at the ladies first? And so we've just done screen captures of like the gallery view of them, I suppose. But the reason that we don't show all of the ladies, and the reason that we don't just say, yeah, just pick a date and then go for it, we want guys to come with us who are really serious. We don't want guys that are just going to pay, you know, just to be another form of letter writing that they know to be a little bit more organized, or I guess to be more legit, but to be more organized because we're there, you know, following them through it. We want guys that are like serious, that come over, that they pay for the 3 months, 1 month of getting ready, maybe anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks or whatever over there, and then when they come back as well. So we want to work with guys that are serious. It's not about just taking money off people and going, yeah, have a good go, knowing that they're not going to go over, that they're going to get scammed, that they're going to fail and be like every other company that takes their money. That's not what it's about for us. We want to take people on that are serious. We talk, and like, if you talk to any guys that have like talked to us on Skype or that we deal with, we're very thorough in the way that we talk to people. We want to make sure that we do the right thing for them and that they do the right decisions as well. That's right for them as well. So it's not about just having Skype dates and then see you later, like say any other sort of like online dating type, chatting type thing. What we're trying to do is something that's different. That's why we have English-speaking ladies, that we would like to think that all of the ladies on there are legit. Obviously, we can't vouch for all of them, but if anything is dodgy, we are there with you to see what's happened in the background, and you know, we can go talk to the agency and figure out what's going on and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we do. We don't do what the other guys do, if that makes sense. Also, and then we'll answer those questions. Just to sum up all of that stuff there, I mean, there's probably other stuff that's common sense that we don't need to go into, but I'm going to say this now, and I want you to really understand it, is that the moment that you turn that camera on, same as what you're doing, you're going to judge every single little bit that your brain can absorb, that your eyes and your ears can absorb from the start of this interaction. She's going to do the same as well, okay? So you know that if she turns on her camera and her hair's messed up and her makeup's like not done, or she looks like she's been out all night, you're going to judge her straight away, okay? So just bear that in mind and just make sure that you really present yourself well, because it's better that you present yourself well and she doesn't, or I shouldn't say she doesn't, that you're not attracted to her and you go, I'm not interested, I don't want to Luba, I don't want to pursue it any further, then the other way around. Because if Luba goes to the lady and says, do you want the number? And she says, I don't know, like his house was a mess and you know, it looked like he couldn't even be bothered like with this call. That's pretty brutal if that happens, you know, and that's going to be the kick in the ass that maybe stops you from doing that. So just please, just bring the A game. The other thing I'm going to say is that like we had this, like I always talk about the 80-20 rule when it comes to conversation. You need to try and get her to, like, you need to spark the conversation to get her to talk about 80% of the time, so that you can qualify and listen and see what she's like, understand like what her what's her background like when it comes to her family, children, relationships, her job, all this sort of stuff. You're only going to get that from when she's talking, and you're listening. Okay, the same is going to be when you're doing this, but you have to take complete ownership. You're the one that's asked her to come on this call. She's the one that's like gone out of her way to do it because you have the intention to do it. She never had the intention to do it. So you have to hold the ownership that this conversation belongs to you. So you can't expect her to sort of ask you a lot of questions and make the conversation going. It's up to you to do that. So I'll just say that there, just in case you're thinking she wasn't very talkative. It's your responsibility to make her talk. Luba?
Yeah. And also, don't be too serious. This is important. Don't be like, I know that you can be very stressful, and I see, because sometimes I turn on the Zoom a little bit earlier, and I talk to the guys and I help them to set up their background and make sure that everything looks fine and there's like no reflections or nothing, like nothing is wrong. But don't try to be very serious, because you worry as well. Like, you have to understand that you both are in this situation. But if you think in a bigger picture, you understand that there's nothing really like bad happening, and in the worst case scenario, you will just not like each other, and you will not talk again. But the striker just mentioned very important things. So why we call it rocket match? Because I honestly want to match people. Like, I honestly want to see if it is real, like if you're compatible. I don't want anybody to exchange phone numbers, contact information, in case they don't have real intentions in communication. Because what's happening sometimes, like why we say to our guys, do not ask your contact information while you do the Zoom call. I want you to, after the call, be able to tell me what you like and what you dislike about this girl. I want to get back to the agency, and I want them to send me feedback from the girl. I want her to be honest with agency, because if you ask her like how she feels, what she thinks about this or that, and like or you ask her if she wants to give a contact information, she may think like, oh, I don't know how to say no, like, because I'm the person who always like, I have difficulties to say no, and like it's kind of, I don't want to offend anybody, but I just understand that like, you don't want to be in this situation when she give you phone number and then never respond to you. I think that you will be pretty upset about that. So I want to collect the information about your particular call, and if you really both like each other, if I hear positive feedback from each of sides, then I want you to exchange contact. And also, sometimes maybe the girl will say something that you don't like something bad about you, or something that she doesn't like, or you will tell me. I think it's also very good. It's important, because you don't have to be upset about that. But if she, for example, say, oh, this guy was a bit boring, like he was asking me so many questions, and it's good, because I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna say that, I don't know, John, whatever. I would say, John, listen, like, the conversation was a little bit like slow. The ladies need more energy, more power, and less questions, and maybe something more cheerful. I think it's going to help you a lot, because you're not going to ever do this again. You're never going to be boring again. I would put it this way. So every single call is experience. And I think that you should worry. I think it's normal, but not like over stress, because I see that the guys, like, they're like not themselves. They start to, like, you don't have to do it. Just relax, just take it easy, be confident. And I recommend like to do some fun stuff if you can. Like that I support now this couple, Kevin and Elena, and it's funny because every time we have a call, like I help them like once a week, we talk, and every time he do something funny. And honestly, like I'm even surprised that this man like has such a big fantasy. One time when we start calling, like he wear the mask like of the gorilla. I don't know where even he got it, but it was like a giant gorilla head. Then the next time he put like their picture in front or whatever. So he always tried to make it funny. He wants to, at the beginning of the conversation, like this striker mentioned, these first seconds are so important to just click and just win her heart, win her attention. And when you do first call, like maybe it's not like appropriate, but when you do like second and third, I think it's very cool idea maybe to bring you flowers, like buy a little bouquet in Walmart or whatever, and just bring it and put it on a table and say these flowers are for you. Or maybe make 2 cups of tea and say, I have a tea for you as well. Something cute like that can really win your heart better than any iPhone, Gucci bags, and etc. This little attention and humor are the winners.
The whole thing with this, right? So it's just to create something, right? I can't even say it's to create chemistry or anything like that, but it's just to create something. It's to create a good feeling, a good vibe. So she's looking forward to you coming over there. That's it. So you have to be able to come out. Yeah, we always say to people, to the guys that are talking about doing it, if they say they're not coming in 6 months, we say, don't sign up with us now. Wait until like a month before you're going over there, or a couple of months before, and then do it, because you'll want to contact the agency straight away. And they're going to get, like, if you say I'm coming over maybe in 6 months or 10 months, they're not going to take you seriously at all, and you're going to get not very good service, and it's just not going to go well. You need a solid plan. The lady wants to know a solid plan as well when you're coming over there. And just doing stuff like that Luba said is going to show a little bit of your personality, a little glimpse into what it would actually be like in person. We can't go overboard, you know. We're very limited on what we can actually do, you know, and that's just the downside of this whole video chat thing. Stefan says, please, can you tell some tips to convince her for a first meeting on camera? If she is shy, what can we do? Nothing. If she doesn't want to talk on camera, you can't do anything. That's it. If she wants to, if she sees, I always talk about value, right? If she sees value in speaking to you on camera, she will. She could be the shyest person in the world, never would ever speak to anyone. If you say, oh, there's this guy, his name is Brad Pitt, and he wants to talk to you on camera, she'll talk on camera because she sees value. I know it's a extreme case, but if she doesn't want to talk on camera, then she's not interested. That's pretty much it. Or she doesn't see value in it, I should say. And that value may come from the fact that she doesn't even believe that you're going to come over there. So that's all for that. Luba?
Yeah, you know, some girls are shy, and they like I ask agencies to put the ladies that will talk, you know, like at least you know, the girls that in Rocket Mage, the reason why they may not be able to talk to you because they don't like the age gap is too big or whatever. You know, nothing can, like, I think that if it's supposed to happen, it will happen. If you should talk to this lady, you will talk to her. And this service is not for everybody. And you know that we're not trying to sell, like, or oversell and say like, oh, it's incredible, like it's just for you, like, everybody should get it. No way. This is only for the guys who want it. Like, we created for the guys who really wanted to do it. Like, they wanted to have this conversation before. And honestly, like, by talking to over 150 guys right now since we started, like, it's 50-50. Half of the guys think that I want to come and meet, and I truly, like, we did the video, don't think that we change our mind. I still support the real meeting much more than just, you know, virtual one. But I just realized that if the lady speaks English, it's so cool. Like, it's so, like, why not? It's almost the same. And you're also not spending money on lunch, you know, at least during the COVID, it's a good bonus. But nothing can change the real meeting ever.
We were just joking before we did this video about like some of these points and just sometimes we have a quick meeting with Gwen. I said as a joke, I should say. So yeah, if she asks you for any money in that first online date, it's up to you if you want to give it or not. It's up to you. And Luba was like, what are you talking about? But anyway, none of these ladies, you have to really like distance what we're doing from, you know, these paid per minute, like sort of like, you know, buying credits and then chatting and all that sort of stuff, man. It's just like, it's so far away from that. It's just, you know, you can't even put us in the same ocean, I suppose. So there's not going to be any ladies that are saying that her grandmother's died. They're not going to try and pull any of that stuff. If there are, like, let us know, of course, and we'll definitely go and do some roundhouse.
But make sure, you know, when strikers say about the minutes and about how long should you talk to the girl, are we limiting the guys for talking? No, it's a Zoom call. You can talk for however long you want. We don't you know, manipulate or anything. We don't.
Yeah.
So one guy was looking for hour 45 minutes. Another guy was looking for hour 30 minutes. Another guy was looking only for 30 minutes, but it's because of him. He had a lunch break and he can't talk more, but he got a contact, and so they will stay in touch. So when we arrange a call, the first call going through the Zoom, and then after I collect feedback from you and from her, and you both want to exchange the contact information, then we exchange you Viber information. And the reason that we give you Viber is because we want you to be able to use interpreter on like built-in translator on Viber in case you need it. So the girl may speak English, but you know, maybe there's going to be something that you will text her and she will not understand, or she will text you, and so you will be able to click open translator and translate it. So that's why we use Viber. But most of the people, they use Viber and WhatsApp, so you can add her anywhere you want. We give you a phone number that is valid for one of these apps for sure. Yeah, so quite often when you buy contacts, I suppose, from these agencies, they'll give you like a fake email address or even a fake phone number. You're actually going to get, like, if she wants to give it to you and you want to
give it as well, because it comes down to both. She may want to do it and you decide not to, which we had just one of Luba's clients just telling me about it today. I'm not sure who it was. So and then you have to keep up. You have to keep this up, right? And I think that this is one of the hardest parts about this. And this is probably one of the reasons why I don't think I would have done it back in the day. Maybe, who knows? But you need to keep that interaction up the whole time, you know. And you may find that after 2 weeks, she sort of like isn't as into it as what you are, or maybe she's too much into it. These are all the risks that come with this, you know. We're not trying to say that this is once she exchanges it, you're going to come over and you're going to get married. This is just something, you know, so you know who you're going to come and meet. But you do have to keep that up, right? And I'll just tell you this, actually. This is something interesting that was one of the, I guess, objections that Luba and I have. Like, we always try and play devil's advocate with each other of bad things that can happen. And one of the bad things that could happen, and I guarantee you nobody in here has even thought about this, and that is that a guy talks to 5 ladies, say. He tells them all that he likes all of them, and then he comes back and he doesn't want to exchange anything. He just kind of like leaves them all sort of hanging, right? And this is why Luba's part in this plays like a reasonably important part, because she has to find out what's going on, because she has to keep everybody happy here, right? So if the guy just bails and she never hears from him again, and she goes, okay, well, never mind. Then someone else comes along and has some more dates, and she's in there as well. And then he just bails as well, and this goes, oh, whatever, I don't want to meet any of these ladies or whatever. And then the third guy comes along and he says, oh, I want to have a date with Svetlana. And Svetlana says, look, I can't be bothered. Look, I've already had 2 dates. The guys said that they were interested, and then they never contacted me. So I can't be bothered doing this anymore. So if you think about it from that point of view as well, we have to make sure that the ladies are happy as well, because if they're not happy, we can't do this going forward. We've got to keep you guys happy, got to keep the ladies happy, got to keep the agencies happy. That's why we have this, like, it's included in the Win Women support, because, you know, there is a little bit of logistical, we call it logistical, whatever you call it, but a little bit of communication in the back end where we've got to make sure that everybody feels good. You know? And it can come down to also, we have to go back to the guy and say, look, she's not interested and it's just the way it is, move on, you know. So just thought I'd throw that in there just so that you can see it from our
I was very worried about that, and I said to Striker that, you know, sometimes there are some mistakes happening, and I said, Striker, like, I so much worried that the guys will be upset with me or whatever, because I always try to do the best part from my side, but there's also like 2 sides, you know, like there's a guy and there's an agency, there's a lady, and I was so much stressed about that. But, you know, Striker told me that, you know, we are open, like, we can fuck up. Yes, we can. And we are open about that. We're never going to say that, you know, our shit smell roses, like, and that we're doing like the best, like we're doing the best because we are trying to do as best as we can. And in this, you can be always like 100% sure. But sometimes it can be some things. And like, even like Lonnie will not give me to lie. Like he, you know, like one guy, he wanted to have a call, and there was a lady on our website that the agency put in. And so when I contacted them and wanted to do a call, they say that she disagree, and then they removed her from the website, from our website, immediately. I didn't know. Like, for me at the beginning, they say that she just doesn't want to have a call. And when this guy mentioned, she said, Luba, but why she's not on the call? I contact agency back and I say, but why did you remove her? I thought that okay, she doesn't like this guy, it's fine. But, and she say, you know, we contact her, and she said that she met a guy recently, local guy. And, you know, from one hand, I felt kind of uncomfortable because, you know, we just started the service and they immediately removed the girl. But from the other hand, I was so happy. Because of course, like, agencies got their commission. They got like they got, you know, paid for arranging call, and she can just ask this lady and say, like, listen, just talk to him. You know, it's okay, just talk, and like whatever. But they didn't, and it's so good that, you know, our agencies, like, I know that they're very loyal to us as I loyal to them. I always, like, I just recently, like, I'm not gonna go into details, but I saved one agency. You know, there was one agency, one French partner that was really like doing bad stuff for the agencies, and I find it out about that, and I called to another agency and I put them together. I said like, you need to meet. So I introduced these agencies between each other, and I feel like we're a very strong team. I feel that we really support each other, and so I'm happy that this agency didn't arrange this call, that they tell me the truth, and I know that it will happen always. And if there are going to be some kind of like bad situation, we always will try fix them, and we will work in the best interest for you.
Yeah, I think, and that's what we're ultimately going towards, is to help these agencies. At the moment, we're building 3 websites for 3 agencies, because I think one of them doesn't even have one, and the other 2 are just so shit. It's like if we had to send our clients to it and they see these terrible websites, they'll just go. But these agencies are not these letter writing sites. They don't have like $2,000 to build like a nice catalog of the ladies and all that sort of stuff. But we want to make sure that when we send a client to one of these agencies, the client opens the page and he's like, wow, this is cool. He's going through it. We don't want him to be like, what the hell is this? It looks like it was built in like 1992 or something like that. So, we're helping them on that point as well. We actually even, like, a funny story, Luba just reminded me, we had one agency that had like the most famous pro data in Kiev. Probably some of you guys might know about. She's guys always talk about it. What's that?
I said, we're not going to say the name, but you all
maybe you know her name. And she was with one of these agencies, and I saw it, and I said, Luba, you got to, like, if the agency is legit, why on earth do they have her here? So Luba talked to them, and this lady was like, what's wrong with her? Like, she's a lovely girl and blah, blah, blah. And then we went back to, we said, look, and I screenshotted posts from my forum, from Ukraine Fusion, from another one. Even if you Google her name and the word Kiev, and all her photos come up. And so we sent that to her, and then she thanked us for, because they don't know. I see things on a different side from an agency owner. I see things inside forums, what I talk to with guys, and all that sort of stuff. She doesn't, and she thanked us, and she said, no, we didn't realize that she was Ukraine's most infamous pro data. So
and like some of you would say, she knew, and she would kind of like just cover that. No, it happened to me a couple of years ago when I had my little agency, and I remember how the girl came to my agency saying that she's so serious, that she wants to find man, and then she's looking, and she was speaking English, and I let her on a date with one of the guys that I know very well, and thanks God I knew him well, and he knew me well, and he was not upset with me. So when he went on a date with her, and I said, listen, like, he really wanted to go on a date, like he wanted to find the wife, and he wanted to get married. He came to me and said, how was the date? Everything is good, like, because she's serious, you're serious, maybe. And like, his type, she was a little bit like reddish, not reddish, reddish hair. So, and he said, Luba, it was so strange. We were walking, and then she started complaining about her apartment, that she has no money to pay for apartment, and then her roof is leaking, and grandmother, and I was like, what? I called her and said, like, Alona, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Like, you told me that you're a serious lady, that you want to get married. Like, you only came for this money. You only are like going to ask for money. And I'm glad that the guy was not upset, and he told me that. And say, Luba, but I also need money, and I need this. And I've seen that he's a kind man. I mean, am I guilty in that? I mean, I was shocked. I was literally shocked. So the agency may not even know, but I was also impressed, like how Striker found all the information. We put it together, we sent it to the agency, and within 10 minutes, she like observed it, like she looked at that, and she said that she deleted her from the website, and she was very, very appreciating. So as much as 2 people can influence at this industry, we promise you that we will.
Our approach is different. If you guys ever saw my video about the big dog, little dog, and the agencies that hide behind the curtain, so they make all the money, but they make a lot of money, and the agencies, they forfeit any real responsibility. We haven't done that, so we've made it so that their names are available. If you get scammed by them, you can go and blast them if you want, as long as it's fair, of course. I mean, if a lady's not interested in you, that's not a reason to disrespect an agency online or something like that. But we work closely with them. So like every day, Luba is talking to them about one thing or another. They're calling up Luba for advice. As soon as a guy contacts them, they'll call Luba. What do you think about, we should do with this? And so we're working really closely with them. And we want you to know that that they're responsible for themselves. You know, we're responsible for as far as we can take it. That's why we have a course that teaches you everything that you need to know. Then you're responsible for yourself. You know, so, and I've always said, I think one of my first ever videos I've ever made was that don't ever let anybody else, I think it was in one of my review videos, let anybody else take responsibility for your actions. Understand what's going on out there, choose some good contacts and some resources, and make the decisions that are right for you. We stand by all the agencies that we use. In fact, we actually kicked one out, didn't we? Well, we didn't kick one out, but did we? I don't know if we did. We weren't 100% comfortable with their response rate, is probably the best way to say it. There wasn't any scams or anything like that, but their response rate to not only our clients, but also to Luba as well, was slow. And then when we were sort of hit them up about it, like, you know, are you on board or not? And they were like, well, we're a little bit busy with something else. So we said, okay, goodbye.
Yeah, but thank you. You know, guys, it's like you bring this confidence to me because I really want to fight for you. I want to find the best service. And now we do have agencies like almost all over Ukraine. And we have in the small cities and we have big cities. We have like Kiev, Kharkov, Zaporozhye, Dnipro, Rivne, you know, Mariupol. Like we have a lot of different cities. Maybe I missed some even. We have two.
Well, I heard a rumor that Luba was working on with an agency in Russia.
Why did you say that? Yeah, no, I kind of like, I'm not sure because like there is some agencies, but you know, like for me, it's, like when I contact them, I'm pretty straightforward what we are doing, who we are. And not all of the agencies, they understand that their level of honesty is not that high that they can join us, you know. They understand that they better do like some shitty job and like scam guys rather than be known by millions, because I truly believe in our project, and you know, maybe now our channel is not the biggest one, but we never bought any single subscriber, we never bought any single comment or anything like that. We are going with the flow. I believe that we will get better with your help, you know, with our content, with our approach, but you know, not everybody agreed to work with us because you know, they understand that their level is not as good. And of course, like I'm not gonna force anybody to, like, you know, just be with us in case it's pointless. Just to have Russia on board, but have a bad agency, not gonna happen. I have another like news, but even Striker didn't know yet. But I will just communicate with them and maybe have an agency. Everybody was asking for agency in Lviv, and I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow, and we'll see. I'm not sure that I will accept them, but they reach out to me, so we'll see.
What level of membership do you need to access? So this is it was originally called Next Level. So this is like a 3-month membership. It costs $199 per month. And you have support from Luba or from me if you need anything from me, and access now to this database. Calls for to have a date, they cost extra on top of that. So, but this gets you access to everything and the support. It's basically the support. We just included Heart Rocket Match in there for the same price, pretty much. That's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, I just want to really quick go through all the points for the guys who just joined. We've been talking about what to do and what not to do during you have a video date, and I will just quickly run through all of them. So first of all is mood. You have to be cheerful, you have to be active, you have to be relaxed, you have to be positive, and you have to have a light around you to make sure that she feel comfortable and she can be relaxed next to you. Then it should be, like as I mentioned, lighting. It shouldn't be dark, and you should check your camera before you start calling. You should walk either with either with your phone or whatever, just to make sure that the light is good and that your camera is showing all of your face, not just half, not just your nose, not just your neck. Just make sure that we can see the full full of you. Then sitting and setting. So you have to make sure that you sit on a comfortable chair, that it's not making any sounds, and that you actually you are not don't have any mess on the background, that you don't have any reflections, and that everything is clean. You don't have to walk around on the first video, you don't have to show around here on the first video. Just make sure that you're sitting comfortable and you have no distraction. Make sure that your phone is off, or like you put it on a airplane mode. And or for example, you I don't recommend to use phone for the video call. I recommend to use a solid computer that it can stay, it will not like the battery will not die. And of course, like if it is your working hours and maybe you have some emergency call, of course answer, but try to not get distracted by your phone. The way you talk, it's very important, because you have to understand you have to make sure that she understands you, and all of you have a different accents. And even like when I do a video, like when we do a like coaching call, for me it's like first like 1 or 2 minutes, especially from the guys from Australia, I'm sorry, but it's like I need to really, like my brain needs to like adjust to the sound. So even me who talk like English more than I speak Russian nowadays. So please make sure that you speak either slowly, and ask her like if she don't understand you or she wants you to speak a little bit slower, to let you know. Then distractions can be as the phone calls, as a circumstance, or animals, so or children. So we highly recommend to not do the videos outside or in your car, or like on your patio outside, so where the cars and trucks can go past. So make sure that you're sitting in a light, quiet room, and that this hour you spend only with this particular lady. Then interaction, like strikers say that there should be 80-20 rule, but of course everything depends on the situation. Maybe you want to ask some questions, but remember that this call shouldn't be like a job interview. I think that it like, I mean, I not think, I know that it shouldn't be like, bum questions. Sometimes you get out of the topic, sometimes you can discuss something fun that happening in the world. And one thing that I highly recommend is that to get to know a little bit about the city that lady's from. This will always, like, if you will have some kind of like, pause, or you will not know what to talk, you always can say, you're from Kharkov. I've seen that there is like a big park, or like the biggest like Ferris wheel. Or if she's from Rivne, you should say about this green tunnel of love. Or if she's in I don't know, Dnieper, you should ask about the big sea walk, something like that, a river walk. So you have to know about your city, and this will be very nice for her. Or if you already been in Ukraine, you should discuss with her like where have you been and which city she's living from, and have she been in this country. So this will give you a lot of like very light and very like simple topics to talk about when you have a first call. Also, make sure that you have a good internet. I know it's kind of difficult, but try to check your connection, make sure that it will not breaking up. Do not wear big headphones. I highly not recommend to put the huge headphones with a big microphone that cover your face and the wires making like terrible sounds. Make sure that you either have your sound on computer, maybe you have your wireless headphones, or the small headphones with a small microphone will work as well. And try to not touch it, and not make sure that it's not scratching your clothes, because it makes a very uncomfortable sound for the lady. The conversation with the ladies from Rocket Match are unlimited, so it depends on how the conversation go. We not limit you with a 30 minutes, 1 hour, hour and a half. It's up to you. And if you happen to talk through your phone, just make sure that you have a power bank and you can always charge your phone. And the last one is that when you do a Zoom call, make sure that you choose the view option on the right top corner, when you can see the gallery view, when you will see both of you at the same time when you talk. It is very important to see her reaction when you say something, like does she understand, how she look, is she distracted, is she looking at her phone. So all that will give you big and giant picture about this lady. It will give you, it will tell you a lot. So make sure that you choose not a speaker view, you choose a gallery view when you can see all of you. Report is over.
Okay, well, hopefully that's given a bit of advice to any guys that are doing it. Now, it's a lot of it is common sense, but really you'd be surprised how many people how many guys are sort of pretty blasé about it. So really all we want is that you bring like your A game, like you are going on a first date. I really think about it that way, because I've talked about it before about why video chatting is, not the best option, and why you should just meet in real life. It's because you can't portray that emotion and that feeling that you can in real life. Someone else has already created the backdrop, some cafe or wherever it is. You're always going to dress up nice. You're always going to smell nice. You're always going to have a clean shave or whatever, and have a fresh haircut and all that sort of stuff. You just naturally do that. And some people sort of don't do that for that first meeting. Also, it's a little bit difficult to portray who you are as an assertive, strong, confident man if you're on camera. It's just a little bit difficult, but it's not made to be the be all and end all. It's really just to give her a glimpse of who you are, and so that she can then. And to be honest, she probably, if she wants to meet you from a video call, she probably would have met you anyway. That's probably the best way that I think that to say that, she probably would have met you anyway. But at least you can get some sort of rapport. You can get her phone number. You can, send each other photos and texts and stuff, however you want to do it, leading up into your trip, and build up some of that anticipation, so that when you do meet, you do feel like you know each other, and you do have a stronger connection than you would have if you had just met her when you went there. So I guess you can progress the relationship further to whatever level is appropriate.
Sure. Yeah, it's a good opportunity. It's a good chance to start. And also, if you know something in Russian, or you want to get my course, Sarkir will put the link below. It's just funny when you start the conversation and you say something in Russian. I think it's always super nice, and it should be more than "Привет, как дела?" That means "Hello, how are you?" It should be something more. Maybe you can pick it up from my course, and I think it's really cool and very pleasant for the lady. So, guys,
Cool.
If you have any more questions, we are about to finish our live stream for today. But if you have a few questions, just quickly, if we miss something, just repeat them and we will go through them.
And if you guys want to know more, just go to our website. I think the link is in the bottom, I think. It's just www.heartrocket.com. Go to the contact tab and just and send us an email.
I remember now what I wanted to say. Guys, make me a favor, please. Buy me an iPhone. I'm kidding. It's number 12 already, 4 cameras. Don't think that Ukrainian ladies are desperate. Don't think that all Ukrainian men drink. Don't think that Ukrainian women will do anything to move to America. Don't think that Ukraine is a third world country. Yes, we have our shit happening. Same as everywhere right now. Absolutely everywhere. New Zealand, America, Australia, Russia, Belarus, everybody go through different crises. Ukraine is a beautiful country. I was born here, I live here, and I'm proud of this country in some matter. I don't support that, but I do like it. And people here are good. There are scammers who were born or built by guys. Honestly, I can't tell you who started and who finished that. The guys who are 70 and 60 who are coming to meet a 20 years old girl, what do you expect from her? What do you want from her? Do you really want her to be serious about you? There is no possible way. And I already said about, the guys who are in their 50s and looking for the girls in their 30s. I keep saying that my mom is 49, and I'm 30. So I think that you understand what I mean by that. So I want you to respect Ukrainian women because they do deserve respect. And I want you to meet a lady that will be your support, that will be your rock in one way. You will be her rock and she will be your rock in another way. And I know that is happening. I look at all couples that I created over these years. I see how the guys in any age, they glow. They're really happy, and they how happy and how grateful they are. How happy is Clifton with Svetlana now in Texas? How happy is Valentina and Peter in Australia? Like all that, like so many couples. I don't want to even name all of them, but it's like, I don't know. It's not hundreds. It's not hundreds. No, it's maybe, I don't know, 20 couples, but it is a very good and strong couples. And the guys has a big respect to Ukrainian ladies. I really ask you to respect, and I want you to come to Ukraine only if you're looking for the good partner, for a family-oriented lady, for the lady with the good values. It's still here if you are reasonable and realistic. Don't think that Ukrainian ladies are desperate. They're not. Because when you come to Ukraine, you will be very disappointed. Because if your mindset is that Ukrainian lady will, follow you just for the sausage or for the free dinner, it's false. You will be very upset. Striker, am I right?
No, yeah, 100% correct. Like and I know there's guys in here that have spent a lot of time in here and a lot of time in Ukraine who understand that. But there are some guys that don't. Like we had a call with a guy not too long ago. We told him not to come over. He wanted to go to a country that was like kind of Middle Eastern. She was going to have to dress like a Middle Eastern woman, blah, blah, blah. And we said, look, it's not going to happen. It's the chance. I mean, can't say not going to happen, but the chances of that happening is like pretty much nil, and we don't want your money because we can't help you to do that. And then his comment after that was something like, well, what about Moldova? I hear that they're like even more poor and broke over there. And it was like, that's kind of the wrong reason why you're doing this. If you're doing this because you're trying to rescue a poor, broken woman, it doesn't work. Like this is what creates the scams. This is what Lou was talking about. It's this mentality of like guys thinking that no matter what, she wants to go to America. That's not the case. Like it really, the more time you spend here, it's not that appealing to them. The country is not that appealing. What's appealing to them is the man that she sees value in. And here's, quite often people talk about how, only 10% of the ladies want to move here, 20% want to move out of here, or 20% of the ladies want to leave Ukraine. It's not that many. But here's the reality of it. If she sees enough value in you as a man, of a man that can protect and provide and create a good family, create security, and take care of her, she'll go anywhere with you. She could be the most patriotic person. I'm never going to leave Ukraine. I love it here too much. And she meets like someone, let's just say, for an example, a famous Hollywood actor. He says, come live in the Hollywood Hills in my mansion. She's going to go. She sees value in that. It's an extreme case, I know, but if she sees value in you, she'll go. If she sees no value in you, she won't go. If she's a scammer, she'll scam you. It's probably the best way to say that. But anyway, any other questions?
Everything will be fine. At the end of the day, we all will survive.
Be realistic, guys. If you guys know our philosophy, like be realistic, we'll back you up. The moment that it turns into unrealistic expectations, then you'll get screwed.
And also about drinking, I know that a lot of girls, they're telling you, like so many guys drinking. I don't want to offend anybody, but I probably know more Western people like who drink more than any of my friends in Ukraine. Just keep it quiet, please, Striker.
Well, that's true, actually. Like, because I don't like. I mean, some of your friends, like, I have had some nights out, but a lot of times they just have like a couple of drinks and then that's it. Like nobody brings like a bottle of vodka,
We even have a Odessa style party. Have you seen vodka there? No, it was a handmade cherry drink. It was some kind of.
Maybe this is like, and to be honest, like I guess if we were having this conversation maybe 15, 20 years ago, like, and I think that there's something about the times, like when it came out of like USSR, there was a lot of like people unemployed. There was the war and all that sort of stuff. I think people were drinking to escape reality. The reality now is completely different. Like, there's good jobs, there's universities, there's a lot of opportunity, I suppose. Even though, like, we can say that Ukraine is not a first world country, but people say it's third world. I don't even know what that means. I picture a third world country as like just sand and like huts made out of, corrugated iron or something like that. I don't know whether Ukraine is a second world or first world. I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know if America is a first world country. I mean, if you look at somewhere like the Emirates or Dubai or somewhere like that, that's first world. You look at America, no offense to anyone these days, when you look at some of these things that are going on at the moment, derelict cities, I think Detroit and I forget some of these other places, they look pretty bad. So what's first world and what's second world? I think they need to put in a fourth world there so we can divide it up into a little bit more of an accurate thing. But yeah, the whole drinking thing in Ukraine, like it's not, there's thugs, there's, I guess, do you want to call them gotnips? I don't know if they're gotnips if they don't sit on their knees like that or whatever, crouch down. But honestly, that's another one of these like fallacies. That's not true. Everyone here.
A lot of scammer girls, a lot of scammers, they like to complain, and we covered it in the course a lot, and I've seen it so many times. Like to complain, they like to make you feel guilty, they like to make you feel sorry, and that's why they will tell you all these stories. I translated so many different calls for the couples when the lady, even if like some kind of like that happening, they try to not like they're proud, they don't want to say that. They don't want to say that. They don't want to like say, oh, did everybody drink and everything bad? No, they will stand by their country. You know what I like about US and what we don't have in Ukraine, to be honest? When I came there, I've been in so many states. I've been in 25 states. Almost every house has a flag. For me, it was a miracle. It was so nice that so many houses, they put the flag of their country in front of their door. You will not see that in Ukraine. But people still love this country because there's a lot of things that are beautiful about that. Even like according to the weather, like we have no hurricanes, no fires. We have we do have some fires, of course, but we don't have any earthquakes or like something. It's a beautiful country, so come enjoy it and don't listen to this bullshit that is people saying about Ukraine. Just come and check it, but make sure that you're coming with a legit company. You meet legit girls. If you need our help, we are here. Like, we built the whole project on that approach. We want you to fall in love with Ukraine and come back and back to Ukraine. Maybe Ukraine will inspire you for some business idea, and maybe you will fix something and Ukraine will get a little bit better with the help of you. So jump on board.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Always appreciated it, as always. And I guess we will probably see you guys maybe next week or something. We'll see. Have you got any ideas where you want us to talk about? I was actually thinking about one then, like maybe a video just talking about Ukraine. Like, what's it like, using taxis, going to the shop, if you want to buy stuff online, just all the stuff that, I guess I've experienced, and Luba can give you advice on as well.
Sorry, by the way, I have an answer to your question. What means buy in one click and why it's not actually buying in one click? I will call you. Remember when you was trying to buy something online and it says buy in one click, and then they like all.
Yeah. Let me just explain it. I was buying something online the other day, put in all my details, and then there was two buttons, and it was like, one was like go through something, and the other one was like buy in one click. So I clicked that, and then it finishes. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then buy in one click means they're going to call you and ask you what you want. And so I just went through the whole process on the website of telling them what I want and put it in the shopping cart and filled in all my details. And anyway, I could go on.
Then it means not in one click. I understand now. When you click it, it's like it's almost whatever. It's just it's some difficulties, but you see Striker is healthy, beautiful, and alive. Not beautiful, whatever. You can judge himself, but he survived in Ukraine. So I think that it's possible. And of course, like if you want us to do a video about like some stuff in Ukraine, if you're traveling, if you want just like random stuff or like everyday stuff, we definitely can answer. And
it's a good topic, like even things like topping up your phone, like buying water, buying stuff online if you're coming over here, using like the post. There's a certain post thing, whatever that we use. Bunch of other stuff, using Ubers and all, just stuff like that. That things that you may get a little bit tricked on. I suppose some of it's covered in the course, but we could still talk about some other stuff as well.
Guys, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we are waiting for you in Ukraine. I want these real meetings. I want this, scent of like human. So we hope that the border is going to be open soon, and we're going to see you soon. And thank you very much for all your support, because you really inspire us and me very much to be better, improve our services, and make sure that you can come to Ukraine, fall in love with the country and with the lady, and live long and happy. We see you next time.